What is going on, guys? Today we finally took a W. It was a small W because my TP did get edged, but a win is a win. We secured 2 out of our 5 winning days so far for our payout, and yeah, today we could have set up so clean and we could have made so much more. My TP got edged. I was in like 380, no 350 profit, and it got edged, and I closed at like $100 less. But today I don't really know if the trade I took was the best trade, so I'll still recap it though. But it was a win. I still think it was a good setup. So the very first thing coming into today were my draws I marked out. I had this new week opening gap, and then I had whatever this low was. I don't even know what that is, but I had it marked out. And then on the 4 hour, we had a 4 hour gap, which I was looking for a retrace into if you know, if it was given, right? So pretty much, I'm in history class at market open, and I can't have my computer open, so I'm like checking my phone a little bit, checking my phone, and I see this, right? And I'm like, oh shit, we actually might get a trade towards the new week opening gap, which is one of the strongest draws, and we are getting like how many points? 40-point candles to the downside, like 40, 20, 30 points, like exactly what I want to see, right? And like in the ideal case, I was like looking for a retrace into this gap, and I was looking for something like this, right? And then taking this displacement leg, stops above the high, and then damn, that's kind of a sharp stop, but like stops here, and then take profit at this low. But we ended up taking the low before getting any sort of retrace, so I was like, whatever, right? And at this point, I was like, we didn't slow down, but it was slower displacement up. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna get off for the rest of history class, and right, maybe we get something towards the um 4 hour gap I had marked out up here, right? And that ended up happening. So pretty much what happened was, I don't know why you can't see anything. Pretty much what ended up happening is that we flipped here strong, and I kind of got a Han around like here, and I saw, okay, we're actively displacing towards the gap. And even though on ES, holy shit, ES, on ES we actually like tapped into it, and already, not already, but we were a lot closer to the target on ES. And pretty much um I was open to taking it on ES, but I still took it on NQ because I didn't feel like just like figuring out how much I had to size, and it was just like I'm not really used to trading NQ as much. So pretty much NQ tapped the gap. I mean, ES tapped the gap before NQ, so I was making sure we were gonna continue displacing on ES, and pretty much it's kind of hard to see where you can see my entry was. You'd be like, why the hell would you enter off this candle? And I didn't. I entered mid candle while like we waked up so fast, and I was like, okay, if we're displacing like this, we're gonna get this gap on both time frames, right? I was like, I know we're gonna get this gap on both, not time frames, but assets, right? So we displaced. I don't really know exactly what my stop placement was, but it was like slightly negative. Like it was literally I played a 1-to-1, but truly, like in all honesty, it was like maybe like a point 0.9 or 0.99. It was literally like this maybe. But this was a trade. It was like mid displacement candle, and then as soon as I entered, we wicked down, and I'm like, oh my god! As soon as I saw that, because there was also SMT at this high, and I'm like, and it was in a 4 hour gap, and I was like, I don't know, we might just flip here, but I'm okay with the risk because we got this retrace even, and then we retraced into this 5 minute gap, and literally instantly as we tapped into it, it literally held the second we tapped into it. There was no hesitation for us to like flip. Like we literally just flipped, even though this was a kind of a deep retrace, a strong retrace. and it was probably better than the flip if you're looking at the candle closures. But the momentum that we flipped on this candle up, just imagine this candle closed where the wick did, right? I don't expect it to come all the way up here and then wick down and close. I mean, I wouldn't enter on that, but we were displacing nicely, and I was like, okay, we're probably gonna catch the hourly gap, most likely, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this. And what ended up happening was, um, I was about to go break even after we kind of displaced on the next candle past my entry, and we wicked the internal high, and I would have got break even, but I was gonna let it have some breathing room around my entry, and if we pretty much like came down below that wick or like this body, I was gonna close. So we ended up kind of having a bearish close, and I was ready to close my position, but we ended up flipping. And again, look at the wick. I'm watching, like, imagine watching that in live market. Like, okay, this we're gonna get to the high. So pretty much when this candle right here closed, I went break even, right? And my entry, like, I was literally so close to getting break even on this trade. It was literally this. It might have even been closer. I was literally in class. I was like, oh my god, right? So pretty much at this point, I'm break even at this internal high closure, right? And I'm like, and I just started sitting through all of these doji candles, and I'm like, bro, like, ain't no way I'm about to get another break even on this trade, right? And I'm like, bro, just stop me out and break even, or let's get going, right? And we ended up literally coming. It was literally this. We came so close to my break. It was literally a tick away. It was less than a tick. It was something like this, bro. It was literally a tick away from stopping me out. And then we flipped on this next candle, and then this next candle continued the momentum towards the draw. And at this point, if I see price want to reverse, I'm closing the position because we're like 5 points away from my target. It's not worth holding, right? And pretty much the second we made this top wick right here, we started flipping, and I closed it right here for 232 profit. And yeah, that's pretty much the trade recap. We could have got a better trade, but we had A plus displacement. We had a nice draw. We had a pretty good flip when I was watching it, and just horrible delivery. But we still secured a winning day. Could have been a better delivery, and we just started delivering very nicely around like we ended up taking the draw at like 11, and then started delivering towards nothing at like 12, and had nice displacement. Like, bro, you could have taken some shit like this, bro. Would have caught it like light. But I'm not mad about a winning day, right? Um, Hopefully this week we can secure the payout, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start copy trading these two accounts again. I took two big losses, and if I was copy trading, both the accounts would be back. But I think it was for the better that I stopped copy trading them for a little bit. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow to recap if I take anything. And yeah,